after this, there's like some lasagna in the fridge. I've every time I've gone down to get a drink, I've been like wanting to just tear it up. Some man, I won't tear some lasagna, you know what I'm talking about. And it's like, man, I got fucking novels to be reading, so no. Alright, let's get back into it. Ugh, damn it. Shit, my head hurts. Seven woke to find himself lying on a hard floor. He twisted his neck to peer around the room. Where am I? There was a small shabby bed and a dirty sink. A toilet with no stall or privacy of any sort. As a cop, it was a place Seven had seen all too often. I'm in a cell, huh? Opposite the toilet was a door inside into the wall. Seven struggled to his feet and hobbled toward it. He gave the door a good shove, then another, then tried pulling it. It didn't open. Well, that was about what he expected. It wasn't like that someone would put him in his cell only to leave it unlocked. He threw himself against the door a few times, but to no avail. I knew it. Seven grumbled to himself as he moved back toward the bed. He sat down. He sat there for a very long time. Just how long he wasn't sure. At last he began to nod off and had nearly fallen asleep when he was roused by a distant voice. There's over. It's 9. The voice was far away, very far away. Seven couldn't understand what it was saying. Nonetheless, it was a voice and a high one, most likely a child. His eyes shot open. Her Oye-Kaying? As he listened, he could pick out several different distinct voices. There are at least 5 or 6, possibly more. Where were the voices coming from? He looked around the room frantically. Perhaps the door? No, that wasn't it. Was it coming from the left? Was it coming from under the bed? He grabbed the bed and flipped it with ease. There it was. There was a hole for ventilation in the wall where the bed had been, covered with a metal grate. Seven lay down on his stomach and peered through the grate. He couldn't see anything, it was too dark. Now that he found it, however, there could be no doubt. This was the source of the voices. For a moment he was confused. Why were there children nearby? Then he remembered what the man from Cradle Pharmaceutical had told him. How his ship would take the kidnapped children from the wharf to a weighted passenger liner out in the ocean. Was Seven on the passenger liner? It didn't matter. What mattered was that he had to find a way to the children. Seven looked at the metal grate. Could he fit through the hole? Yeah, right. He stuck his fingers through the grate and grabbed hold of it. Yeah, how you like that, you son of a bitch? The dark square sat open before him. Seven wiped the sweat from his forehead and crawled inside. Wow, he could fit? Holy shit. The first section of the duct was small. Seven could do little more than wriggle on along his belly. After a time, however, it got larger. And even someone as large as Seven was able to crawl along on his hands and knees. He felt like he'd grown from an inchworm to an insect. Not much of an improvement, but it was better than nothing. He began to wonder where the duct would take him when there was a thunderous sound like a massive metal door slamming shut. Then he heard a voice. Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. The voice wasn't harsh, but something about the calm with which it spoke made it more terrifying. Seven wasn't sure what it meant, but incinerator certainly didn't sound good. Then, almost as if to confirm his suspicions, he heard a chorus of young voices. No! Many of the voices were simply screaming in terror, mixing with one another to create a single horrifying howl. Damn it! What the hell is going on here? Seven began to crawl along the duct as fast as his arms and legs could carry him. The noise he made was tremendous, but he was on past caring. A few moments later, a metal door appeared on the left side of the duct. Seven could hear the screams of the children from the other side. That was it. He grabbed hold of the handle and threw the door open. The old metal gave away easily before his onslaught. The hell is this place? Oh shit, he's in the incinerator! The room he was looking out into had a dome for a ceiling and 9 equally sized walls. At the top of the dome was an upside down funnel. It almost looked like a chimney. Then he looked down. Dude. The children he'd been looking for. They stared up at Seven, their cries silenced for the moment by surprise and fear. Whether they were scared by the room or him, Seven couldn't tell. It was certainly possible that they were frightened of both. Not that I could blame him running into a mug like this when they were already scared shitless. He permitted himself a short snort of a laugh, then turned to the children again. Don't worry, kids. I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. Not a single one of them moved. Except for one. He was a boy slightly older than the others, in a private school uniform. Huh. Who the hell are you? As he spoke, he took a tentative step forward and gave Seven a suspicious look. I'm a detective and I'm here to rescue you. The moment the words were out of his mouth, you could see the children relax. How are you gonna help us? The boy in the uniform asked. Where's the exit? Seven responded. There isn't one. The doors we came in through won't open, and the door over there? He cut himself off, considered something, and then continued. Anyway, there's no point. We can't all get out of here. Wait, that says we all can't get out of here. If we don't get out of here, we're gonna be burned to death. Burned to death? Can you hear it? That voice said the incinerator's gonna start up soon. The voice spoke again. 15 minutes. Seven looked back down at the children. It was a good 20 or 30 feet to the floor. There was no way he could pull the children up. That was when he had an idea. Wait, right here. I'm gonna be right back. What? Where is he going? Are you just gonna leave us here? Seven did his best to smile when he felt what he felt was a reassuring smile. Don't worry, alright, I'll be right back. I promise. So just stay calm and wait right here. He didn't wait to hear them respond. There wasn't time. He ran as fast as he could down on his hands and knees. Before long, he was back in his cell. He was back where he had started, but he had a plan. There was something there that he needed. As soon as he was finished, he drove back into the duct and took forward toward the incinerator. Sorry to keep you waiting, guys. Leaning out the door in the duct, Seven lowered the rope he brought into the room from the incinerator. Back in his cell, he tore the bed sheets into strips and tied them together to make a rope. Like Seven himself, it wasn't very attractive, but it got the job done. Alright, just tie that around yourself, okay? I'll pull you up one at a time. Wait a sec. That was when he noticed. There were more of you than before. Where'd the rest of you go? The boy in the uniform answered. I let them go on ahead. We opened the number 9 door and they left. What, you're telling me you opened that door? That's what I said. Then what the hell are you doing here? We couldn't go with them. Why not? Look, the only people who can go through the numbered door. 5 minutes. Look, that can wait, alright? Just get us out of here. First up was a girl with a ponytail. Next was a girl with a red necktie, followed by a boy in a jacket who said he'd climb up on his own. The last was the boy in a uniform. Like the boy in a jacket, he climbed up the rope himself. He looked scrawny from above, but his looks belied impressive strength. He scaled the rope quickly, but as he was almost to 7, what? They heard the sound of someone knocking. All eyes turned to the door. Cut into it was a thick, square window. On the other side, they could see a furious face. The hell? God damn it, what's going on there? Why is the room empty? The hell are those fucking kids? Uh-oh. The door opened and a man stepped in, looking half mad with fury. 7 recognized his face. He'd seen him many times in photos during the investigation. The man's name was Hongao, the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical. Hongao saw the boy hanging from the rope. He roared like an animal and lunged for the rope. Hurry! I know! The boy in the uniform resumed his scramble up the rope. You son of a bitch! Get back here, you little shit! He was 15 feet away, 10. The moment he came within arm's reach, 7 grabbed the boy in the uniform. With a jerk, he tossed him into the duct behind him. Lost any semblance of control. Yeah, that sounds about right. His face no longer looked human. It was twisted into something terrifying, the visage of a devil. Or a ferocious monster. 7 quickly reeled in his rope, leaving a furious Hongao on the floor of the room, and crawled back into the duct. You fucking bastard! You won't get away with this! How dare you compromise the experiment? What experiment, 7 wondered. 1 minute. Hey old man, what the hell are you doing? Hurry up! It was the boy in a uniform. 7 tossed Hongao a taunting salute and pulled the door closed. There was no point in going back to 7's cell, so they continued down the duct in another direction. After 30 feet or so, another duct met theirs heading down. They nodded at one another. They turned and slid down the duct. A short time later, they crawled out of the duct to find themselves in a narrow hallway. There was a door on each side of it. The one on the left was a normal double door, but the one on the right was a familiar thick metal door, with black and yellow stripes and a device next to it on the wall. On the door was a plate that read incinerator. Then that's where you were? That's where we were? Yeah. Hongao might still be there. Looks like it's been shut off though. Wait, what? He's still in there? Yeah, that's not good. Ugh. 7 grunted. Fine. The other door. Go into the other door. Hurry. The children began to run, with 7 following close behind them. On the other side of the door was a large spiral staircase. Run! 7 shouted. They didn't need to be told twice. Up and up and up they went. Their feet pounded against the steps and their arms churned the air. Round and round like a human tornado. The stairway kept going. They passed a couple of rooms that looked to be dance halls with the boy in the uniform. When the boy in the uniform spoke. Something's up. Akane's not catching up to us. Akane? My kid's sister? Akane was his sister? The girl with the red necktie. Akane? That was strange. 7 didn't remember seeing that name in the list of children who'd gone missing. Look at his face! Hey! Akane! He cupped his hands around his mouth and yelled. There was no response. Maybe we outran her. Suddenly the boy in the uniform stopped short. 7 stopped too, as did the boy in the jacket with the ponytailed hair. When did we do that? Well, we passed a couple of big rooms on the way here. Maybe she took a rest on one of them. No, that's impossible. Sorry, Grandpa, you keep going. I gotta go look for my sister downstairs. He turned to go. Hey, kid, wait. God damn it, I said wait. The boy didn't even seem to hear him. Fuck. Seven spun around and yelled to the boy in the jacket and the girl with the ponytail. I'm going after it. You two keep going, alright? You got it? The girl nodded and began to run up the stairs. The boy, however, I'm going with you. Seven didn't have time to argue. Instead, he simply nodded and took off down the stairs. The boy in the jacket followed. They ran all the way to the bottom floor, calling for her. Akane was nowhere to be found. God damn it, where the hell did she go? The boy in the uniform couldn't hide his frustration. It was a girl's voice. Akane. The boy in the uniform threw open the door and leapt into the hallway that faced the incinerator. Oh, whoops. Balls up, my bad. Seven and the boy in the jacket followed. Seven couldn't believe what he saw. No way! Ace killed her? Come on, goddammit, move! No, I don't want to. Let me go. Please let go of me. She planted her feet squarely on the floor and was doing her best to get away, but Hongao was much larger than she was. She wasn't going to win. Akane, the boy in the uniform, shouted. He roared with anger and charged toward Hongao. You came back! You're too late, idiot. Hongao lifted Akane bodily from her feet and threw her struggling into the incinerator. Oh my god! Before Seven or the boy in a uniform could react, Hongao leapt through the door after her. They saw him land inside. And then the door slammed shut, with the finality of a great steel guillotine. The three of them ran to the door. They pulled and strained, trying desperately to get it open. Fuck. It's no use, the goddamn thing won't move an inch. The boy in the uniform cried out and began to slam his fists against the door. He hit it with such force, Seven feared his knuckles would shatter from the impact. Her voice was muffled by the door, but the sheer terror in it was unmistakable. What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here. Where's Hongao? He went out the other door. What? Oh my god. 18 minutes. Are you fucking kidding me? Seven was at a loss. It's the same damn thing. Are you there? Akane's voice sounded close to Tia's. Yeah, we're here. Just hang on, alright? We're gonna figure out a way to save you. If she could find the bloodless face of the... What? If she could have seen the bloodless face of the boy in the uniform, his words would have seemed like little more than a sick joke. Uh-oh. They could hear her muffled sobs from the other side of the door. The boy in a uniform tightened his fists, his knuckles were a bloodless white. Seven could tell that he was holding back tears of his own. God. It was silent. All they could hear was the creaking of the boat as it shifted in the water. They waited and waited, but Seven didn't continue. What happened then? Junpei couldn't wait any longer. He had to know. Seven looked at the floor. Come on, man, put yourself in my shoes. It doesn't end good. You think I want to remember that? Then, yeah. Shit, if I'd known it was going to be like this, I almost wish I hadn't remembered. Seven shook his head. But there was something Junpei had to know. Hey, are you sure? Huh? I don't want to ask this either, but there's something I don't get. So if you could just tell me, did that girl Akane really? Seven stared straight ahead at nothing. Yeah, I'm sure. There wasn't anything we could do. After a while, the countdown ended, and we heard something burning. Even after the fire stopped, they couldn't move. Seven and the boy in the jacket simply stood there. They were frozen. The boy in the uniform collapsed, falling to the floor in a jumble of limbs like a puppet whose strings had been cut. A few more minutes passed. The door opened. The boy in the uniform ran in, stumbling over his own feet. Seven and the boy in the jacket followed, still too numb to speak. The air in the incinerator was hot. Every breath made Seven's lungs feel like they were on fire. The air shimmered with heat, and in the middle of the room, beneath the waves of heat, there it lay. The boy in the uniform walked toward it, his legs shaking violently. Seven couldn't see his face, but his body looked somehow empty. Finally, he reached it. The boy collapsed to his knees, his legs no longer able to support him. Well, I had a feeling that Santa's sister was murdered by that pharmaceutical company. I didn't know it was like this though, because I had the feeling that he set out on this revenge plot to punish them for what they did. Junpei felt a cold lump in the pit of his stomach. A feeling of sickening anticipation washed over him. He could feel his body shivering. He desperately did not want to know the answer he feared he knew already, but he had to ask. He had to know for sure. Can I ask you one more thing? What? The girl, Akane. What was her last name? What does it matter to you? Just tell me, okay, please? Seven looked at Junpei curiously and ran his tongue quickly over his dry lips. Kurashiki. Her name was Akane Kurashiki. Then who the fuck is June? Something inside of Junpei stopped. He had no more words left. He had no more Junpei left. He was just a shell of flesh and bone. This is... Seven turned to Snake. You were there that day, weren't you? The tall kid in the jacket. That was you, wasn't it? Yes, I was. You were correct, detective. Junpei's mind was blank, withdrawn from the world. Somewhere far away, he could hear Seven and Snakes talking. Don't misunderstand me. I told you before how Zero threatened me. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't say anything about what happened 9 years ago. So you're saying you're not working for Zero, right? Of course not. Clover? What about you? Hey, come on. You really think I'm working with Zero? I told you before, you idiot. I was in Nevada in Building Q. I did hear that a detective rescued the kids on the boat, but I didn't know it was you. The surprise seemed to be genuine. Seven regarded Clover for a moment and rubbed his chin thoughtfully. Huh. Well, I guess I believe you. Clover nodded. Alright, let me ask you another question. He stuck his hands into his pockets and took a few steps. Then he stopped and turned to face them again. Santa's real name is Ai Kurashiki. He's Akane's brother. You know that? No, I didn't. Did you? Well, yes, I know Kurashiki was her brother. But I didn't know he was Santa, at least not from the beginning. 9 years ago, he was in the middle of puberty. His voice is entirely different now. I'm ashamed to say that even my exceptional hearing wasn't able to make that connection. As such, I had no reason to think Santa was... When did you figure it out? A short time ago, Clover told me that Santa might have been one of the subjects of the initial experiment. When she told me that, I had a feeling. That spark caught flame in Junpei's leaden mind, and the fog began to clear. Like an engine beginning to turn, images and thoughts began to, coalesce in his mind, coming faster and faster, forming bigger images, bigger thoughts. Junpei blinked. He was back. There's still a lot we don't know. I mean, like, a lot. A lot. But there's one thing I think we can say we know. What's that? The body we found in his shower room had to be Nijisaki, dressed up to look like Snake. What? Come on, what kind of detective are you? You didn't think of that out already? Yeah, go easy on me, man. Amnesia and shit. I just got my memory back, alright? Cut me some slack. But if he is the three murders make sense then, don't they? Yeah, that's right. Murder. Kubota blew himself up. That was murder too. So why did these murders take place? If Junpei is correct and the body in the shower room was Nijisaki's, that means all of the people who were murdered were involved with the creation of the Nonary project. Kubota, the person who conducted the actual experiments. Nijisaki, Hongao's assistant. Musashido, the man who financed the project. You mean this was all just revenge? Santa is Zero? He's getting revenge for the death of his sister? No, I don't think Santa actually murdered anyone. In fact, Junpei didn't think he knew. He couldn't explain why or how, but he had no doubt that Santa had killed no one. Perhaps the madness of the last several hours was finally driving him insane, but Junpei had ceased to be surprised at the sudden knowledge, and had even begun to accept it. If I'm right, then it's not hard to figure out who the next victim is going to be, is it? I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you. Snake, Clover, and Seven all nodded. The next target will be Hongao, the person who planned the Nonary project. In other words, Ace. There was a moment of silence. Oh hell! And then the room shook. From far away they heard the sudden rush of water. What the hell's going on here? It must be 6 AM. Our time is up. Shit. Come on. We need to get out of here. How? In the drawer that had the picture was a key card. Junpei grabbed it. I'm betting this sucker opens the exit. Come on, let's go. Well, that was, something. Alright, I should swipe this card. Junpei, look! It's unlocked. Yeah, now we can get out of here. Oh my days, dude. I have no idea whether this is gonna go on for like another fucking 3 hours, man. This is insane. The door opened and they stumbled into the library. I'm having fun, but I think it's gonna be like midnight again by the time I finish this. The shaking had stopped, but they knew the danger hadn't passed. They ran across the hallway straight for the large metal door. Next to the door was the Uranus card reader. They slid the key card through, and the door rumbled open. Out of the library and into the hallway they ran. At the end of the hallway was a door. Junpei reached into his pocket and pulled out the key as he ran toward it. The key he put into the lock was the Neptune key. He turned it. The lock clicked. As one, they shoved the door open and poured through. In front of them was another great metal door. Above it was a metal plaque. It read Incinerator. So this is the incinerator. It's the first time I've seen it from this side, but yeah, I think so. Then there ought to be a lever near the door. Yeah, right here. Junpei ran up to it. Pull that and the door should open. As he spoke, he pulled the lever. Guess we're gonna find the rest of the gang in there. The motor in the door groaned as it slowly ground open. There was no time to waste. As soon as the door had opened far enough to admit them, all four dashed through.